Hello, hello. So today's video lesson is over the beginning of fraction operations. And before we can really get started with fraction operations, we have to figure out first how to simplify fractions. And because we've been studying GCF and LCM, we're actually going to learn how to simplify fractions using the knowledge we know about GCF. So I have the steps listed here. I also have an example over here, but this is using the listing method. So you can use this as a reference to double check your work always, but we're going to use the steps to use GCF to simplify our fraction. So let's just get straight into it. Step 1, find the GCF of the numerator and denominator. The numerator is our top number, and the denominator is the bottom number. Just in case you forgot or needed a refresher, I would highly suggest making a note of this on your notes as well. So let's just do our example. We're going to find the GCF of the top and the bottom, so our numerator and our denominator. So set up your ladder method just like we usually do for GCF. Now, step 2 is divide the numerator and the denominator by GCF. So first we've got to find our GCF. So what is a common factor between these two? If you go back and look at your divisibility rules, the divisibility rule for 2 is that the numbers are both even, and in this case they are both even. So let's just start with 2. That's the easiest thing to do. So 20 divided by 2 would give me 10, and 24 divided by 2 would give me 12. We can actually go again with a 2 because 10 and 12 are both even. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And we cannot go any farther because there is not a common factor that both of these numbers share. So now you make your G to find the GCF. You multiply everything in the G. So our GCF, I'm going to write it up here, GCF equals 4. So we found our GCF. Now let's move on to step 2. Divide the numerator and denominator by the GCF. So if you look over here, you see how we do that, right? You set up your fraction. I'm going to rewrite it over here so I have a little bit more room. And you're going to divide the top and the bottom by the GCF. So in this case, it's 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So this is now our simplified fraction. Now this is kind of the long way. So if you would like a quick way to figure that out, if you notice 5/6, you've got a 5 and a 6. So by looking at the bottom rung of your ladder, that is actually going to be your simplified fraction. You've just got to remember which number up at the top is your numerator and your denominator. If you get them confused and you say 6/5, then you're going to be wrong. So you have to make sure that you keep your numerator and your denominator separate so that you can tell them apart when you get down to this step. So that is it. That is how you simplify fractions using GCF.